Welcome back to Morgan's video blog, Morgan's online blog in video format. Today, I'm here to share with you 3 reasons why you shouldn't create New Year's resolutions, but why I did. So, goals aren't for everyone. Goals in January, even less so. For some of us, setting goals is just setting ourselves up for failure. You need to take a good, hard look at where you are, where you want to go, and what stands in your way. The first thing you need to look at, your current obligations. If you are already overcommitted, you might want to re-examine your priorities and see if you actually have the bandwidth to take on new tasks. If not, this probably is not the right time for you to set new goals. Instead, you might want to take a look into what steps you can take in order to free up your bandwidth, to either get a better handle on the commitments that you already have or to make room for new ones in the future. Are your commitments right now things that move you towards where you want to go? You should evaluate them and learn to say no when you can. The second thing you need to consider before trying to make New Year's resolutions is your emotional state. Check in with yourself first. If you are not in the right headspace emotionally, setting goals can end up hurting you. Some people are naturally contrary, and when faced with a goal, find themselves doing anything else, even if they want to achieve that goal. Their contrary nature just makes it harder for them to reach that goal. And for others, we have trouble with the setbacks and the failures that are intrinsically a part of trying to achieve something that's not quite in our reach yet. And, when you have big dreams, sometimes you can't control all the factors. If you know that right now you have too much on your plate, that you're emotionally not prepared for dealing with setbacks and still keeping at it, your priority needs to be working on yourself, getting yourself on emotionally stable ground. You need to be making sure that you have a firm support network that will help you through the setbacks and push you to become this better self that you want to be. I mean, assuming. Maybe you want to be a worse version of yourself, you do you. But, instead of setting goals when you're not feeling emotionally up to taking the hits, just work on whatever project seems to be flowing better and concentrate on making progress. Let your creative side out without burdening it with expectations. Of course, if you find setting and meeting goals intrinsically encouraging and reinforcing, then do so. Totally ignore what I just said. Just make sure that you're setting achievable goals that you actually have control over. For writers, setting a word count goal or a page edit goal is something you can control. Self-publishing or querying 50 agents is something you can control. Getting an agent or traditionally published, you have no control over that. Don't make that your goal. That's your dream, and you're taking the steps toward it. And number 3, the third reason why now might not be the right time is literally timing. Basically, whether it's the right time for you to set goals, it just boils down to timing. Timing of obligations, timing of dealing with everything that life is throwing at you. For me, New Year's resolutions are great. It's a great time for me to set goals and plan out how I'm going to approach them. Why? Because October is Octoprimo, where I'm doing the poetry thing and all the fall hangouts and things like that. And then November hits and it's NaNoWriMo every day and 3 Thanksgivings. And before I can catch my breath, December is there with all the holiday decorating and cards and parties and baking and gatherings and all the things in December. January. January is my first chance to breathe since fall. It's my first chance to step back, see where I am, and decide the best way to get from here to where I'm going, which is what I did last week. But if your annual cycle doesn't look like mine, that's fine. For professors or teachers, summer might be your time. For tax accountants, probably May. For parents, September or October after all those open houses and back to school activities and all the germs the kids brought home. Don't feel like you're doing things wrong if your schedule doesn't match up with the calendar or what everybody else is doing. As I'm fond of saying at my day job, processes exist to help you accomplish stuff. If the process is getting in the way, you need to either adapt the process to something that works for you or find a new process. Let me know in the comments below, did you set any New Year's resolutions? If so, share them with me. You're right on board with me. If not, did one of those 3 things I mentioned, timing, emotional stability, or, what was the first one? Oh, right, are you overcommitted? Did any of those things contribute towards your decision of not making goals right now? I mean, if you haven't had time, clearly you're overcommitted, etc. If it was something else, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear. As always, feel free to subscribe and tune in again next week for more writing tips and writerly musings. Bye-bye.